Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Boss Rush Podcast here on Boss Rush Games. I'm one of your hosts, Corey Dierig. I am not Edward Varnell, but joining me, as always, is the wise Wisconsinite, Jesse Douglas.
What's up? Rush.
Oh, boy. Yeah. And
I had to be the crazy one today because Ed's not here. So
those are some big shoes to fill, Jesse. Those sound effects are waving over here to the
You're on your way there, yeah.
To the streamers champion, Ray Apollo.
Hello, hi. I've returned.
Yes. Ed dropped out on us today because he had to go to work.
He's got to make money, okay? Money's important.
No, not important.
He's got to whip some butts.
Actually, money's very important. So
he's got to whip some butts in line.
That's right.
Yeah.
He's got to go sass some people to do their job.
It's true. I feel like I haven't seen anybody in like a while. I haven't seen Ray in a month and a half almost.
It's been a bit. You hit the holiday season, and got to go do stuff.
Yeah, that's fair. It's been a couple weeks since we recorded this show anyway, because of the holiday, and hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving and a good Thursday if you're not American. So, how's everyone doing? Everybody doing good? Everybody doing
Yep.
Doing the things?
Doing fairly well. That's right. I feel good. I feel very good.
Good. Mm-hmm. Good.
Still stuffed from Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I kind of.
I am not.
I kind of.
I am hungry.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of hungry too, to be 100% honest with you. Probably should have ate something before the show started, but that's all right. Anyways, guys, I'm going to throw some curveballs at you. We're going to start the show with a couple questions. How do you feel about them?
Nice.
Them apples.
I'm fine with that. Good job. Apples are good.
All right. We have a couple listener questions we're going to start the show with, and then we're going to also end with some listener questions. But these ones, I feel like, are relevant to kind of what we've been doing or trying to do the last couple months with this show and streaming and everything. So our first question comes from Xavier Combs. He says, "Hello, Boss Rushers. I found you guys through the Nintendo Power Block podcast and instantly downloaded the last few episodes." Wow. And now
I missed just enough, apparently.
Instantly deleted those episodes. He says, "I am enjoying the chemistry and I'm really looking forward to your future stuff. My question is about streaming, since I found most of you stream. I want to stream, but I don't know where to begin or what to stream. It seems if you stream something like Fortnite or Apex, you get lost, but if you stream anything else, no one cares. What is your advice for an aspiring streamer? Also, Ray, I found you on Twitch. Don't eat that."
Don't tell me what to do. You're not my dad. Anyway.
Well, Ray, you're the biggest streamer here. So
physically, yes, I'm much larger than all of you.
That might not be true.
I'm bigger than you. It's okay. Accept it.
He's 10 feet tall, and
I'm only 6 and a few quarters feet tall. That's fine. Streaming is something that, like, nobody, like, they're not saying it yet, but you know how everybody has a podcast. Everybody's going to have a stream soon. Mm-hmm. That's the way it's going to be. Mm-hmm. And if it's something that you're just going to have to want to do, at this point, you're really not going to get it. Don't get it to make money. Don't do that. That's not the point. If you're streaming, you're streaming to form community, to have fun. It's something that you want to do because, I mean, you're playing video games anyway. So now why not play it with a few other people? You know, it could be 2 or 3 people, and that's good, you know? And yeah, you get lost if you're playing games like Fortnite or Apex, but if you enjoy those games, why not play them? Usually people watch streams for the people who are playing the games because there's something about that person that makes them interesting to watch, whether they're very good at the game, they're interesting to talk with, or, you know, it's just a fun time, regardless. It's at this point now where if you're trying to get into streaming now, like if you're starting today and you're like, yeah, I'm going to start streaming because it's going to make me money, you're going to have a miserable time and you're not going to make any money. It's just not. Because like you already said, it's oversaturated to a point where if you weren't doing it or you're not doing it the best, don't do it for the money. Just don't. Like, honestly, just start streaming to have fun, to make some new friends, to hang out with your friends that you can't see all the time. It's been a really cool to hang out with some of my friends that I can't see all the time because they can see me and talk with them in chat, and it's awesome. You know, find a different way to make streaming fun for you. Don't make it something. Don't try and be a ninja because only ninja will ever be ninja. Right, Kat? I agree.
Yeah, like honestly, like me, I think it was kind of the same for Ed too. But as far as me, like starting streaming, like I honestly only did it in the beginning whenever I would play something just to since I don't have a computer that can capture and stuff, I just did it to record. So I could have a recording of what I'm doing to, you know, if I want to use it for stuff, or like we had, stuff for the show where I would play a game and talk about it. And then, I could record that, by streaming. And then there you go. I've got a file. I could send it to Corey, and then he could just, throw our logos on it and stuff. And so like, I just started doing it for like things like that. And I think if you do something like that, where you just make it, a fun project that you're doing, and especially if you have a computer where you can edit stuff, and then you can share that and throw that stuff up, that's gonna get people, if they like it, like what you're doing, and they think it's interesting, then you're gonna get people. I mean, that's kind of like what you've been doing, Ray. You throw a lot of like clips of things up and stuff, and you put that out there, and then that's gonna attract people to your channel if they like your personality and stuff. So It's basically, you got to just be you and play the things that you want to play, that you enjoy playing, because ultimately your character and everything about you is going to come off much better and much easily through your videos and through your streams if you're doing stuff that you want to do, and not just playing stuff for the sake of thinking that, oh, well, this is a popular game, like, because a lot of times, you may get a person or two that will come and watch you, but they usually just leave right away, if they're not into it, or or whatever. But it's definitely just, for me, like, I don't do it a lot, but and I don't really get people watching me either, but I'm also playing at weird times of the day that I feel like it's sometimes a little bit harder, because I feel like most of the people who are on at that time are usually playing themselves. But you just gotta just be you and just play the things that you want to play, and if people like it, like one of the things that I got a follower on Twitch for was, I went and I played Battlefront the Battlefield Hardline. I played Battlefield Hardline. And so this guy came on and he's like, holy crap. He's like, no one plays this game anymore. I love this game. And so then he just followed me, and he, like, whenever I would play it, he usually would come on and watch me and stuff. And so, like, there's definitely games like that you probably enjoy that people just don't play anymore and stream anymore, that you can probably try and see if you get interest that way.
And if they're playing something that not everybody's playing, people sometimes just want to watch their favorite video game. And
I kind of started streaming just because it was like to be honest, it was an easier alternative than throwing stuff up on YouTube and getting it flagged, or you put all that time into like editing stuff and whatever, and it might just get flagged by YouTube for some stupid reason, and it's just like, I kind of want to just hang out with people who want to hang out and watch the game that I'm playing, or hang out with my friends, like Ray and Jesse said, it's just kind of like an easier way to meet new people, hang out with friends, and play fun games. Like you don't have to stream Fortnite and Apex to gain an audience either. Like Jesse said, Battlefield Hardline's when you were playing it was like 3 or 4 years old at that point, probably.
Or even more. Yeah.
And even the most recent Battlefield had come out, and like people still enjoy those games. I was playing what was I playing? I was playing something really weird the last time I was streaming, and they like people stopped by because they liked that game, and I wasn't even like trying to stream, like it was just it was labeled chill stream, stop by and say hi, whatever, and people came by and were watching. I was like, oh man, that's fun. I wasn't really expecting anybody. You kind of get in that habit when you start playing, you just kind of flip the stream button on, and it's not usually that easy. I guess on Xbox it is, but
yeah.
I mean, also like not a lot of people have setups like Ray does or like I do, where you can like kind of customize the way you want your stream to look either or anything. But like the Xbox and PlayStation have made it so easy to just stream with the share button. You don't have to have a fancy setup, and there's other third-party sites that kind of incorporate Lightstream, I think is one, Streamlabs, all these things. Like if you do want an overlay, like you can kind of learn how to use those services, or OBS is another one. Like, you don't have to have the fanciest setup to have a good time and stream. So, yeah, I mean, I haven't streamed since I moved, but I plan on getting back to it in the next couple days or so.
Well, and weren't you having some troubles with some stuff too, like for streaming?
Yeah, I was kind of trying to wait to see, like, because my also, if you have a Mac, not recommended for streaming. Yeah, so OBS does not work 100% through Mac OS Catalina, which is the newest one. So I would recommend not doing that. So I've been looking into like alternative ways to stream until I can figure this out. But don't use Mac, but just like Ray said, stream to have fun. Because if you're going to go into it thinking you're going to make $1 million after 2 weeks, you're going to fail. You're going to fall hard. And it's and if you want to get to like affiliate or something, it's a marathon, not a race. You build
as a race now, because they're like, oh yeah, I can get affiliate, and people start giving me money. I mean, yeah, you could look at it that way. Like at that point, it's like literally, I don't know. I feel like that's kind of more power to you if that's the way you see it. But you're not going to go very far with that attitude.
Yeah,
you're really not.
Yeah.
One of those things where this is an opportunity where I will say that the bar for entry is fairly low. It is. Like it's low to get in and start streaming as an affiliate, but to maintain that is a whole different game. And that's where the fun, most people don't realize.
Yeah.
Making money on Twitch is not an easy thing. So
yeah. So I mean, and people I think see that too. If you're going into stream to try to make money, I think people see through that too. They will come at you and be like, hey, do something. But yeah, that's our take on streaming. I'm going to get to this next question here so we can actually start the show here. Hendrix Pasternak writes in, he says, hey there, crew. I've been wanting to start a podcast for a little while now, inspired by what I've been listening to, like Nerds Gone Rogue, Nintendo Power Block, the NX Show, etc. This is an older question we just haven't gotten to the last couple weeks. So when and where did you get inspired, and what keeps you interested? Is there anything you recommend? Is it hard to keep going? Well, I mean, there's a bunch of people that kind of started podcasting about 6 or 7 years ago, I would say, from people that like I was in Facebook groups in, or, I know a big factor for a lot of people, at least around then, was when that group left IGN to form Kind of Funny, was a big inspiration to a lot of people. And you know, before that happened, I was already like had my own like blog and just was writing, and I was like, I kind of want a podcast, but I don't know where to start, or I don't have any friends to do it with, so I don't know. I'm just going to start writing and join Facebook groups and see what, you know, people are doing and everything. And you know, that's kind of how I was kind of inspired through other people. I know there was a podcast that used to be around called Life of Gaming. Josh Brandt is a community member for Boss Rush, and I know he's doing stuff for Nindy Nation right now. And you know, there's a bunch of people that really started that, but you know, they invited me on because they saw what I was doing on my blog, and like they really gave me the first chance on Life of Gaming to, you know, say what I wanted to do and what the plan was and everything. And that's kind of where, you know, DNA came from, which was the first group I was kind of a part of, and the Nerds Gone Rogue, and now into Boss Rush, right? Like, and that's kind of how Nintendo Pal Block started, was through all that too, right? That show's almost 175 episodes strong, I would say, or you know, mediocre, however you want to think about that show. But you know, I think what'd you say?
Going well to yourself. Strong, and it's great.
Yes. Our last couple episodes though of that show, I personally, not trying to like toot my own horn here, but I think the last 2 episodes have been some of the strongest episodes we've ever done. So woo woo. Sorry, train sounds. Can't be real loud. My kid's napping. But you know, the thing is like, you know, I met Ray through podcasting. You know, Jesse was a fan of it before he became part of this, right? Like it was it was a really just a strong community of what I think some people branded the podcast scene as like indie podcasts. I think, I forget who labeled that, but someone that we podcasted with for a long time came up with that term. And you know, I've kept in touch with a lot of people. You know, Secret Friends Unite, Todd and Charlie. I've kept in touch with Mark, who does the co-op mode with Todd, who used to do Warp Whistle. I've kept in touch with them. Antonio Guillen, Sean Capri, like all these people, you know, you keep in touch with just to, you know, keep in touch with, and you listen to their content, and it's great content, and that's kind of what's kept me going. You know, there's been a couple hurdles, I would say, the last, you know, about a couple months ago, like that, you know, that could have taken anybody down, but you know, it's you keep going because your friends are inspiring, and the people you have in your community are inspiring. And you know, like I told Ray when we asked him to come be a part of this, I told him, like, you know, his streaming and stuff was pretty inspiring, you know, too. And you know, you find a lot of people that do these things and are inspiring. And you know, obviously Ed and Jesse have been awesome partners for a couple years, and now Ray, like, you know, your friends inspire you too. So I mean, you just, what inspires you, I guess I would say, and start with that. And if you want to do a couple test runs, like, you're not going to get it the first episode. Your first episode's always going to suck. I'm just going to throw that out there. Not gonna lie, your first 2 or 3 episodes might suck until you get in a rhythm and figure out what your show is going to be and how you guys play off of each other. If you want to have somebody to play off of, someone a long time ago said start with aiming at like a half hour, 45-minute show for your first episode, and then see how you want to build it from there.
It can literally be 20 minutes of you talking about one thing that you like.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, just, I feel like we live in this space with this vacuum of the internet where you can see everything and everything is seen, and all you see is the best stuff. There's a lot of stuff out there that's not very good, but it is still not bad, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Compare yourself to that stuff that's overly produced, that has thousands of dollars poured into equipment. You know, you can't compete with that, but you have to know that and go. I always just create, make something. It's not as good as, you know, the stuff that IGN or GameSpot throws up. This is, they have thousands of dollars and people who've been doing this for years. under their belt. Just create something. Start. So everybody started somewhere. You also have to start. But I know it can be intimidating because you see all of this stuff that is incredibly well produced, and it's like, oh, I can never compete with that. Well, not right now, but you could be at that level one day. You just have to start.
Yeah. I mean, if you go back and look at the old stuff we were doing on DNA and the early like Pow Block and Nerds Gone Rogue stuff, if you go back and look at that early stuff, it was literally, some of it was just like a recorded Google Hangouts with a slapped on crappy Photoshop logo on there. And then, as I became obsessed with like iterating on logos and backgrounds and whatever. And then, the stuff I was doing with DNA, it was 4 of us in a physical room. So like I became obsessed with like making sure cameras were set up correctly and stuff. You don't have to do all that, but if you start somewhere, like just start somewhere. And then if you find places where you can improve, you go there and improve that. And you just keep iterating until you come up with something that you like, How many Nintendo Power Block logos have we gone through? Like how many?
Like your first idea, either.
Yeah.
Your first idea, you'll have better ideas, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, and keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the first logo for the DNA stuff that I created was like, it was literally a white background with black letters just to put something up there so people could read it, right? Like that was literally the first thing until we came up with the DNA strand circle logo that my friend Cameron helped me come up with, and we went from there. But yeah, man, just start creating, and the creative process is full of iterations. It's never complete. It's just just start. Once you get started, not everything has to be perfect right when you start, which is a mistake that I made quite a few times doing this stuff, right? Like just start and then iterate as you go. And once you build a community and a fan base, like they understand and they will chime in. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, but like, just once you have that community built and, you iterate on stuff and just be yourself also. Like that's another thing. Don't try to be like, the next, I don't know. Don't try to be the next Easy Allies or Greg Miller or whatever, these people out there, like just be yourself, because people are drawn to fantastic personalities, like.
You let those people give you energy, but yeah, you don't try and be them because you're not them.
Yeah. You can be inspired by them without having to be them. Right. And I think that is a big thing also. Also like, you don't need the best microphones or the best equipment. My first 3 podcasts I ever recorded were recorded through a $10, I think PS2 karaoke microphone, USB microphone that I plugged into the MacBook I had at the time, and I edited it through GarageBand, right? Like,
and over time you can want to upgrade. We're not saying don't go buy stuff.
Yeah.
It's okay to start with a $20 microphone.
Yeah.
When you want to improve your quality because inevitably better equipment gives you a better sound, do that. But take your time. Don't rush and do that. Don't rush out and buy the most expensive stuff that's available right at the gate. Don't do that. There's no point doing that. Yeah. You won't see a return, if ever, for a very long time.
Yeah. Like my microphone that I've been using for 2 years was I think it was like $90 at Best Buy. It's a Yeti Blue Icicle microphone, so I like it.
It's like $30 or $60, I think.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Not that exact same model, but still.
Yeah. I like this one because it's taller and I can kind of wiggle down and get up close and personal with you if you want. I'm just kidding. That's gonna get somebody in trouble.
Mic was $130. But I run an XLR setup, but I have this setup is complicated because of what I do on a daily basis. Yeah. That's what. And I've seen mics that are $2,000, and it's stupid.
Mm-hmm.
I will never a microphone.
Yeah,
ever.
No.
No thanks.
Yeah. So that's.
I guess the last question though, is it hard to keep going? Yeah, it's different. Some days are harder than other days.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
if you enjoy it, do it because you enjoy it. Don't stop doing it because people didn't like that. Well, So just adjust and do what you like to do.
Yeah.
And stuff that you like. And hopefully you have some stuff that you'll enjoy to look back on later on.
Yeah. Look,
Yeah, definitely.
The first podcast I ever did, it took like 10 or 12 episodes for us to break like 20 downloads, right? And when we broke 20 downloads, it was like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. And then when people finally started like emailing us, because we had set up a Gmail account, which I understand Boss Rush also has a Gmail account currently, but I'm also waiting to get it doesn't matter. When people started emailing us questions, it got really exciting. And as shows progress, like we get quite a few emails now, and it's still like exciting, but also like, don't get discouraged if nobody's listening at first, right? Because it's not going to happen. You're not going to have 10,000 downloads your first month, right? Like that's just not how it works, right? I think we've built a strong community because of we just keep going. We keep going, and like Ray said, it is hard to go. It's some days harder to go some days than others, but it's your friends and the people you do the show with. If they're as passionate as you are about it, like it's easier to go about it, and it's easier to show up when you are not feeling like it. The last couple weeks, like I was working a lot. I was wrapping up the other shows that I used to do, and like it was hard, but you guys, inspired is the wrong word, but kept me coming back because you guys are just as passionate about this stuff as I am, and it's and it's
a distraction. It's a distraction. It's just nice, like that's the thing is like really you just if you surround yourself with some fun, friends and people like you said that are interested in the same thing as you, then for the most part it's usually never the show that's hard to keep doing. You can have things in life that sometimes make you, like just kind of like, do I really feel like doing this today because I'm, this or this, but yeah, it ends up becoming a distraction, and I look forward to it all the time, and like one other thing I just wanted to add to, like when I first started listening to Corey and Ed and everyone, like when I first became a fan, like I loved the show because it wasn't so produced, like you guys would go off on tangents, and like you get to see personality that way. I feel like when a show is over edited, like a Game Informer, or like you can hear when they edited something out a lot of the times, like and it's just like well what was there? Like I wanna like what did they go off on a tangent about, or like what did they like what kind of part of their personality was coming out there that they just got rid of? Like I understand they got to keep it to a certain amount of time, but like me personally, like I enjoy that part of it. I enjoy when people just be themselves and just don't edit things out, and unless it's like something that like you really feel like you like doesn't need to be in there, but I mean, I don't know. I just enjoy podcasts that don't edit things out, or that like jokingly will say, yeah, like let's edit that out, and then they don't, because you hear that part too. Like
conversations are good. Like, natural conversations are appealing to listen to because it feels like you're almost kind of there with the conversation. So there are different podcasts, and conversational podcasts are popular because it makes you feel like, oh yeah, these literally just, and I feel like I could be sitting there with them talking and having the same conversation,
Yeah.
So,
and it's it's something that Ed and I talked about for Power Block a couple weeks ago, where like I kind of want it to feel more conversational instead of feeling like a checklist show, because I did feel like it was getting there a little bit, and
there because you see what the people who you inspire you are doing, and it's like, they do it that way and it works for them. But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Plus, like you can only listen to the same show so many times, I mean, yeah, you can plug different people in there, but at the end of the day, like, how many shows, like, you take, no offense to IGN shows, because I like most of their shows, right? But like, they all feel similar, because they're like, okay, here's the news, here's what, sometimes they talk about like, oh, this big game that's coming up, and then you get to the news, and then you get to like, there's a very formulaic
and shows. Like that is a certain style of news show.
Yeah,
that's what they do.
Yeah. And I like those shows a lot, but like like what we're doing with Boss Rush and everything, I don't want it to feel that way. I want it to be more conversational, and that's why like I like it when people write questions in, because it gives us kind of like a starting point, right? Like a for the conversations, and so I when I talked to Ed about it, like I think that's why our last 2 episodes of Pow Block have been better in particular, is because like we're having more of a conversation instead of like, oh, here's the 25 news items. Yeah, no.
Nude items.
Whoa.
Spicy. I like this.
Oh boy, that's a
edit that out.
Boss Rush Games After Dark.
No. It is like 1 PM.
So, but yeah, just start with something you like, and if you're by yourself, that's okay too. Because actually, I think sometimes starting by yourself makes you a better kind of podcaster in a way, because like you can kind of aim the show where you want it to go, and then when you have people with you, like I've done a couple solo shows, and I thought it was going to be like the hardest thing, and then you just kind of keep talking, and you're just talking to yourself, but you're also talking to like your audience, and it's kind of fun. And I know like Ray, maybe you feel like that when you stream sometimes, but like your chat is there, and I kind of almost feel like, you're responding to your chat. Whereas like if I was doing a solo podcast, I'm responding to the questions that have been written in, so, but yeah, it just start creating, start doing. And that's probably the simplest, easiest way to convey it. And it's a
simple thing, but hard to act on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I'll tell people now, maybe you don't even have to start doing a podcast per se. Record something on your phone.
Yeah.
Put something on your phone.
Yeah.
And just go from there.
Well, I think actually, like, because what like one of the reasons I kind of started streaming was like to like improve on like not relying on like what Ed or Corey's saying to like to come up with things to talk about. And like I was just like streaming and trying to do those those shows where I would play a game that I want to play and then talk about it, or like you can do stuff like that. Even it just makes it really easy if you're having a hard time like coming up with like a certain topic, just like play a game that you really love, that's like one of your favorite, and then just rant and talk about like why you love it, and like what you love about it. And like those are good ways to kind of just practice on getting like to your area that you want to be at when you're talking about things. And I think like doing the whole podcast like by yourself stuff, Ed does that with his optional opinion, and I think like what that does is that like if you're definitely the one who's wanting to start a podcast, like that would be a really good way for you to find your host role, and figure out how you want to do things that way, because like all you've got is to rely on yourself, so like I think that would like definitely make for a good way to figure out how to host a show. Because then once someone comes on it, when you've been doing it by yourself, once someone comes on it, then it's like probably like going to be super easy because it's like you have someone else to bounce ideas off of, and it just, you know, like at that point then, you know, like you're kind of set once you figure yourself out.
Yeah.
Then it's easy to talk to other people about things that you love. So
yeah. And also, like, you know, Hendrix, you've been listening to us for a while, right? Like I know your name from the other shows we've been doing, right? Like he's written in before. If you want to like test the way you want to podcast, hit us up. You can come guest on our show and just, you know, throw ideas back and forth with us, right? Like I know that you've been listening to us for a while, and if that's something you're interested in, just email it or tweet at me or DM me or whatever. Just, you know,
that's how I started.
Yeah. That's literally how Jesse started. So, yeah, it's fun, man. Like, look, I'm not the most outgoing person, you know, like I don't care to be that person, but like podcasting was very, like, I wanted to do it, but it was also very nerve-wracking to think about. But you know, hey, 6 years later, here I am still doing it. So, all right, we're gonna finally get into the real show here. This
isn't the real show.
I mean, it is, but you know,
yeah. This is my, like, yeah, I think the whole getting questions stuff too, like if you're going to start something and like, you know, just even going online on like, cause now like with Facebook honestly makes it really easy to find people who you know, have the same, likes and dislikes as you. So
yeah. And if
like,
you follow,
you know,
if you follow people on Twitter too, and get to see what they're doing, like, if you follow Ray on Twitter, like he posts clips and videos and, you know, selfie videos all the time just to update people, and you know that they're really funny and entertaining, and that's another way you can like get your stuff out there too. So
I mean, you have everything you need right here in your cell phone.
Yes.
Don't tell me that you can't create anything, because you literally have a phone that can do everything.
I run like I've been running our show through my phone for years, and you know, Ray did bring up Google Docs, and we are going to start using Google Docs, but like, you know, I've been running the show through my phone for years. So just start, and that's the easiest way to do it, is just start doing it. So
Yep.
All right, let's get into this show here. This is the Boss Rush podcast, in case you forgot. Boss Rush Games flagship show. Remember, you can email the show at bossrushgamespro@gmail.com, or find us on social media. You can find us on Twitter at boss_rush_games, or on Facebook and Instagram at Boss Rush Games. You can find us on Mixer and Twitch at Boss Rush Games Live. We are going to start doing live shows again in about 2 weeks. So you can follow us on both of those platforms there. Also, you can check out all of our content on bossrushgames.com. You can also follow Ray at Ray Apollo on Twitch and on Twitter for his personal streams and Twitter and all that fun stuff. Let's see here. Games, we play them, right? Anybody playing anything fun? Anything interesting?
I play a lot of video games. Video games are great.
Video games are fun. Some of them not so much fun. Other games very fun.
I try not to play bad games. Smile, life's too short.
You know, I read that last year there were like 900 games got released on Steam last year, or something, and something to that effect. That's too many.
No, it's not too many. There's a lot of people on Earth. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people. Maybe somebody will play it, but I'm not.
Yeah.
But
Ray,
no, games are good.
Ray, I'm starting with you.
You're starting with me, huh?
Yeah, I am. Unless you want me to start, which I don't want to.
Made a mistake. Nope, I'm here now.
Okay.
So this is what's happening. I've been playing a lot of video games recently. Update for all of you who are listening. I am no longer a PlayStation gamer. All right. I joined Xbox Nation full time. I sold the PlayStation 4 because I didn't use it for 6 months. This is nothing against Sony. I played all your exclusives and I was just done. I don't need it until PlayStation 5.
Let me tell you the last game I played on PlayStation 4. All right. It was Assassin's Creed Odyssey. in January.
Okay, yeah.
In January.
I mean, I played more than that. Yeah.
I did not play it. Like, I've been keeping it around for the exclusives, but at this point, I'm like,
we're at the end of the generation. I don't need it right now.
I moved 2.5 weeks ago and I haven't even plugged it in yet.
See? So what I mean, so I sold it while the value was still pretty decent. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I bought a Switch Lite.
Yeah.
I've been playing with the idea of getting rid of my PlayStation just for the simple fact if I get PlayStation 5, it's going to be backwards compatible.
Exactly.
Most likely.
With everything. I mean, and I'm like, and that's what I assume. And so I'm like, I'm just going to buy PlayStation 5. I know I'm going to buy one.
Yeah. I'll buy one when God of War 5 or Horizon 2 comes out, right? Like,
which they absolutely will be coming out.
Which I get very upset when people say.
I'm planning on getting one.
I get very upset when people say God of War 2 because God of War 20. I get it, but like
God of War 2020, God of War 2020, whatever. It's God of War 2 because this is the new God of War.
It's God of War 5.
They're not going to call it God of War 5.
That'd be awesome if they did.
No, please don't. Please, Corey, other Corey, who I know is listening to the show, do not call it God of War 5. Okay.
No, do it. Corey Barlog. Friend of
be
show,
too.
Corey Barlog.
It's gonna be like Hitman, the new Hitman, where it's Hitman 1 and 2.
Right? But those are good though. So like it works.
Yeah.
Man.
But anyway, the games that I've actually been playing, Pokemon Shield. I'm 31 hours into Pokemon Shield. I only have 4 badges. Yes. I love that game. It's probably my second favorite Pokemon game ever, right after Pokemon Crystal. I love this game. It's so good. It's just a lot of fun. I remember all the.
Ask for it for Christmas.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that you will enjoy this game. It is a fun game to have, and inevitably, when the little one starts wanting to play Pokemon, if you want to like, hey, let's actually play Pokemon, this one. Mm-hmm. It's easy enough to pick up.
She did pick up my Switch the other day and played some Mario Odyssey and some Yoshi's Crafted World. It was dude. So, okay, not to like brag about my kid or anything.
Brag about the kid, why not?
But she was playing my Switch, right? And she didn't really understand what she was doing at first, but like there was something in her head that clicked. Like I put on I put on Mario Odyssey and like she kept touching the screen because she sees us touch our phones all the time and nothing was happening. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then she was like touching all the buttons and like it would bring up photo mode and whatever. But then she like hit the stick and started like, doing one of these things on it. By the way, this is great for an audio show.
Yes,
but she like started rubbing
frantically.
Yeah, she started rubbing the stick with her hand and she noticed that like Mario was moving.
Mm-hmm.
And like you could tell she knew that like the stick did something, but she wasn't quite sure. Like, but you could see it click in her head. Like she's moving the stick.
The wheels are turning.
Yeah, and like she would just like rock it back and forth, and he would like run back and forth, and and then she started like just doing this on the face buttons. But like when she did it, Mario would jump. So she
sounds like you need a Switch Lite.
she kept doing it, and I'm like, oh man, this is making me very excited right now. And so I put on Yoshi's Crafted World just because it seemed like it would be a little bit easier to comprehend. Not that like a 16-month-old should be comprehending video games, but she like was moving the stick back and forth and Yoshi was running back and forth, and I put it on mellow mode. But like she didn't like there, like in the very first level, there's a shy guy that's like walking and you're supposed to jump over him or whatever. And she didn't know like to jump. So she just kept running into him and I kind of felt bad, but like,
no, she doesn't know.
But no, I kind of just like felt bad. Cause like she was like running Yoshi back and forth and she was really enjoying that. But then there was an obstacle in her way and she was getting frustrated.
Think about that though. She was really enjoying it. That's just like the first step. She'll learn.
No, I know.
She'll get it.
I know she'll learn, but it was just like really fun to watch her like explore games for real for the first time. And man, that was a good moment. I was a proud dad.
Oh, that's adorable.
Yeah,
also don't tell my wife.
I mean, she'll find out eventually.
No, I know. I posted it on Instagram.
They always do.
When my wife starts following me on Instagram, she'll find out.
Oh no!
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. She follows me, everybody. She loves me, I think.
Oh no!
Anyways, continue, Ray. What are the?
So no, yeah, Pokemon Shield has been awesome. It's been literally, I'm telling you, one of my favorite Pokemon experiences in a very long time. I did not like Sun and Moon, but I love this. This is fantastic. I'm glad it's on the Switch. I bought the very fancy Pokemon Edition Switch Lite because it's beautiful and I love it. I encourage you to play this game if you like Pokemon. All of the freaking complaints, yes, some of them are valid, some of them are stupid, but give it a shot regardless. It is a good Pokemon game. It's a great entry in the series. Also, probably, I think, isn't it like the best-selling Switch game so far?
Yeah, yeah. It's the fastest selling Pokemon game and Switch's best-selling game ever. So
there you go. I can also confirm that this is great. Stamp of approval. It's great. I've also been playing Halo. I went back to Halo Reach for the. I can't say go back because I never played Halo Reach. Fun fact. So I'm playing it for the very first time, and I like it.
Halo Reach is the only Halo game I've never finished, but when it came out, it was a very there was some things going on in life that needed to be taken care of first. So
yeah, I was in college and I wasn't playing video games really then. I didn't start playing video games until after Reach came out. But I'm really happy to be playing it now. I also because I'm playing Master Chief Collection because it's on Game Pass. Hello, hi, and I'm playing ODST again. I noped out of ODST probably 10 minutes into it because it wasn't Halo to me at that time. Yeah. It's like I don't get this, I don't like this, and I just stopped playing it. But I went back for the first time this week and it made sense. It's really weird, but I actually really kind of like it. Mm-hmm. And I'll explain just briefly why I think I like this game so much. You're not a Spartan. You're not. You're like a Halo cop. You know what I'm saying? And so everything that you fight can murder you with relative ease.
Yes.
But you can also kill them if you do it right.
Yeah.
Like they give you enough space to move around and shoot things and pick up different guns. And it's actually kind of cool. Like there was a segment really early on in the game where you are basically fighting some hunters and some brutes by yourself, and it's terrifying.
Yeah.
And I really enjoy it.
It's terrifying in regular Halo games.
Right. At that point, you're Master Chief, and it's like, it's all good. But I'm like, no, I'm just a regular dude, and a few too many shots, and I'm dead.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it feels kind of cool. So it's weird that I don't know how many years later, I'm like, oh no, I actually enjoy this. Yeah, so that's pretty cool.
I like the.
I always look at it as the Destiny prototype.
Yeah, I like the prototype. The open space and everything. You can definitely see like the very early origins of Destiny in that game in terms of like just the space and like you go different areas. It kind of takes you to different spaces and everything. So also so fun fact: Destiny Easter egg in ODST.
That's right. So there you go. That was the one. They were like, this is the game we want to make. Hint, hint.
Yeah.
So second to last game, Power Rangers Battle for the Grid. Yes. I bought that on Switch because it was on sale, and I also really like that game because I am a grown ass man that still enjoys Power Rangers. I know it's crazy. I really like Power Rangers. And
now, I can't say really. So are you a Green Ranger or a White Ranger guy?
I am actually more of a Red Ranger guy. I know it sounds cliche and boring, but I love the Red Ranger. The Red Ranger is my favorite.
Okay. No, that's fair. That's fair. No,
if I had to pick between green or white, I would pick green.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Green Rangers are kind of lit. So, but Battle for the Grid is actually awesome. It's based off of a comic book, Shattered Grid, and it's probably one of the best Pokemon stories. Pokemon, God, I've got Pokemon on the brain. Power Ranger stories.
I was gonna say what?
Ever. It's a really good Power Ranger story. Just not really a spoiler, but a real thing that happens. A Green Ranger from a different universe decides that he wants all the power, and so he kills all of his fellow Rangers, and then he finds a way to go through different dimensions and times and kills other Rangers for their powers, and it's crazy. I love it. It's really cool. But I encourage you. It was on sale on Switch for like $13, and I had to buy it. And it was also because I was upset that Jump Force got nominated for Fighting Game of the Year over this for the Game Awards. So I was like, I need to go buy this game for real because everything I've seen about this game looks awesome. It's an actual fighting game, first of all.
Yeah.
Anyway, I digress. We can talk about that later on.
Yeah, isn't it like more along the lines of it almost feels like a Street Fighter?
Yeah,
like
it's
kind of
it's like an early Street
Marvel
Fighter
versus
Power
Street
Rangers.
Fighter.
Yeah, it's fun.
Because I heard I forget what podcast it was, but I heard him talking about it, and I've been interested in picking it up, even though I'm not really a big fighting game person, but I love Power Rangers, so yeah.
So if all of you who like Power Rangers and are interested in Power Rangers, this is a game to buy. Buy it. And then the last game, one of my games of the year, on my phone, Sayonara Wild Hearts. Fantastic video game. I love that this is an experience that I can literally have on my phone. The sound is fantastic. The controls are easy. The story is heart, so much heart. I love it. It's so good. Play this game if you have an iPhone. I think it's actually on iPhone, Switch, PlayStation 4. I think it's on multiple things now, but play this game. Yeah. It's worth playing.
Yeah, I heard
so, but I know it's on Apple Arcade. So if you have Apple Arcade, download it. Yeah. Fantastic.
Nice.
But yeah, that's it.
Heard the music was amazing too in that game. So, Jesse, what are you playing?
I've also been playing some Halo Master Chief Collection as well. I played some the other day. I've been kind of doing some achievement hunting and things like that on Xbox. Just because with the whole point system that they have, where you can trade points in for real money and stuff like that, it's just, it's makes it worth your time to actually, do all the little things for Game Pass and all that stuff now.
Yeah.
Just because you can basically get money for playing games, with the way they have that set up.
Yeah, I did it. I did that like a couple months ago, and I had enough to get like a $15 Xbox gift card.
I'm gonna start doing this. Y'all keep talking. Jesse keeps talking about this. He's like, I do this all the time, and I'm like, I just need to start doing this.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is whenever you buy a game digitally through your Xbox, you get a whole crap load of points that you can turn into gift cards.
Yeah.
For Xbox. So like every single time you buy something on your Xbox, anytime you play something, you get achievements, if you look at all that stuff, like you can just like do that stuff and keep up on and watch things and look and see what kind of things they have. They have it right on the app for your phone, the Game Pass app. If you go in there,
Xbox apps are awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So there's like a million different things you can do to get points, and sometimes you can get a lot. Like a lot of the times they'll have a thing where if you buy a certain game that they're promoting, you'll get 2,000 or 3,000 points.
Which is that's like $3.
Yeah, or more. It might. Yeah, you might be able to get. And so you'll get like thousands of points. Plus, you get the points that you already are getting for spending money through their Xbox store.
Yeah. So
now you've almost got enough to get a $5 gift card or a $10 gift card or whatever. Because I think it's like 4,600 points to get a $5 gift card.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then so it's less like points per dollar.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think it's like it's like the old Microsoft points system where it's like 80 points is $1 or something.
Yeah, something like that.
It's 800 now, I think. But
800, yeah. But yeah, so if you bounce, because there's a whole bunch of things you can do on the phone app to get points, and then those also communicate with your Xbox, and then you've got stuff on there as well on your Xbox that you can do, like just searching on Bing, you get points. There's like so many ways to get points, and
I wish
they
there
can
was
start
points for recording podcasts on Skype.
Yeah. I'm doing my Skype through the Xbox.
You make that joke, but going into the next gen, that might be something they incentivize people to create content on their devices and their platform. That might happen. That's just a theory. An
Xbox podcast app, podcasting app.
Yeah,
that would be cool. Like that would be the thing. Like moving forward with having a much more powerful system, and we can do what we're doing now. Like I said, I'm recording on through my Xbox, doing the show. And I mean, if they start focusing on a lot of that, especially with them making Mixer a big deal and all that, like I honestly hope that the next console, what I would really like to see with it being so powerful, is I'm hoping that like we'll start getting like in the Xbox store, you'll be able to like actually get programs for like editing videos and stuff like that, because it all the Xbox already can do that. Like the
PlayStation
One
already
can
has
do
those
that.
tools, and I mean, you can only make like what 2 or 3 minute videos, but they're in there. So.
Well, with Xbox, you can make a decent size. You can edit like when I'm like when you're recording certain things. Yeah, you can like kind of throw stuff together and make like long videos. But like I think if they focus more on that kind of stuff, like actually having more programs for the console that let people do the stuff that they want to do, I think like that would be a pretty big deal, So But, I almost forgot what we were talking about. But
we were talking about video games. Yeah.
Well,
we talk about those on this show.
I forgot where I left off, but I played. I played Master Chief Collection, and I played some. Let's see. I've been trying to finish Control. Like
I just
I'm really enjoying the game.
That's funny because it's coming to Game Pass.
I have
like 2
so
weeks.
many.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, it really is.
I already got it.
Hey man, I gave Remedy $50. Why not?
Yeah, that's the thing is, they totally deserve it. I keep on coming back to it, but I've there's just kind of been a couple of things that I'm trying to play at the end of the year here, but I am really enjoying that game. I'm not like, the only thing I'm not a big fan of is just like their whole like checkpoint system kind of thing that they have. It's more like a Dark Souls, where you've got like a campfire that you have. So whatever you do from that campfire to the next one, if you don't make it to the next one, all that progress in between is lost. So, I don't like that part of it. I kind of wish it was a little bit more like a linear experience where there's checkpoints as you're going through. Or at least better than how it is, but otherwise the game's amazing and just like unique. So yeah, I've been jumping to that, but I've kind of been playing a lot more Modern Warfare.
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna do this, but I couldn't.
Did you buy that battle pass? Did you buy it, Jesse?
Yeah, because it was on sale. It was on sale. I'm like, I'm not gonna pay like the whatever $40 or whatever it was. But then all of a sudden I seen that it was on sale. I'm like, oh man, because I actually know I know I'm gonna play this. I know I'm gonna play it, so I know that I would unlock stuff. So yeah, I usually end up getting the stuff, the season passes or whatever they release for Modern Warfare or for Call of Duty games anyways. So it honestly, I'm not surprised that I ended up getting it, but it was only a matter of time. But yeah, I've just really been enjoying that game. I kind of want to like almost play the story over again because that story was so good. I'd started it, and he's been playing it. So, man, that story and just like the visuals and everything about that game is just so good. Like, they did such a good job with that game. Like, it really does make you excited for next gen because, like, honestly, it looks like you know how the end of a generation, you like it's like they pull out all the stops and really make a game just look amazing. You know, like towards the end of a generation, a lot of times that happens more and more towards the end. And you can tell like this is like one that just makes me excited for next gen. So yeah, I've been playing that. I know there's a bunch of other games that I've been kind of touching here and there, but I can't really think of them off the top of my head right now. I need to start writing notes.
I thought about that like earlier when we were recording Powlock. I'm like, I know I played a bunch of games. I know I played a bunch of Switch, but like
yeah, and I used to do that, but I just lately I've just kind of been busy or just like not feeling good and whatever. But yeah, like that for the most part. Oh, I know one that I played. So like I've been wanting to get Far Cry Primal like since it basically came out, and I just for whatever reason I've just put it off, and then we had that big sale for the Black Friday sale or whatever, and it was only I think like I don't know $9 or I don't know, it was pretty cheap. Yeah. So I ended up picking that up and I played that, and I'm enjoying that so far.
Nice.
It's just a completely different like experience as far as you know the Far Cry games go. Just being during the time of like the cavemen era type thing is, and more of like a being in a tribal type thing is just a cool experience.
Did you find the car in the bottom of the lake?
No,
because apparently
I'm pretty early in.
I guess they use the same map as Far Cry 4, but they just gave it a different coat of paint or whatever.
I'll say that New Dawn was probably one of my favorite games.
Yeah,
it's a fun game. Like it's legitimately fun.
I just meant like because like the big joke was like in Primal they use the same map as 4, and like and like
they did the same thing. Yeah, they did the exact same thing.
They like cleared it out so it looked like the wilderness or whatever for like cave people, but they didn't take the geometry of the car out of the bottom of the lake, so there's actually a car in the bottom of the lake.
That's awesome. So yeah, I'll have to look for that.
Yeah.
I'll have to look for that and try to figure that out once I get to that point. But yeah, it's fun. Like it's just weird, like throwing spears and stuff instead of having guns and all that. It's just a cool, different, unique change up of that type of game, and I'm enjoying it a lot. And that's kind of what's always interested me in that is just like having that completely different way of playing in that type of open world game, like it's just it was doing something different, and it was worth checking it out. So
nice.
So yeah, that's mostly what I've been playing. So
nice. Well, I've only really been playing a couple games, a lot. So I played a couple things on Switch. I did play a little bit of Luigi's Mansion 3. I want to like this game, but I don't know if I do. Like I don't. I think it's incredibly charming, and I think it's one of the prettiest Switch games. I love the emotion that all the characters give, and I love just the Nintendo touch of detail and everything, but the controls suck, dude. It feels like it wants to be like old Resident Evil mixed with a twin stick shooter, and neither one works very well at all.
So I'm gonna say something, and it's not gonna be something that people like. I feel, and it's not that I don't like this game or in Luigi's. I love them both. They're both Nintendo. They have Nintendo love that I give them. But Mario Odyssey and Luigi's Mansion are like in the same category for me. Where like I love the idea of them. They're really cool. They're gorgeous. But they're not something that's like a must play for me right now. It's like I have them and I'm gonna play them eventually. But it's like I don't have to rush through and I don't have to rush through and play those games and to get everything. It's like it's a Nintendo game. And I'm going to like this is like Nintendo stuff. Like Mario and Luigi. Yeah, these are the Nintendo guys. And I'm like, okay, yeah, those are fun. But these aren't games that I'm like after to play right now. So I feel you on that.
Yeah.
I feel you.
Like I really like in 2001 when the GameCube came out and launched with Luigi's Mansion. I loved Luigi's Mansion, right?
Because it was cool and different, and yeah, it was great.
Yeah, and I remember when I got my GameCube, I got Luigi's Mansion and Tony Hawk 3, and those were my first two GameCube games. And I played through Luigi's Mansion and I loved it. And I played a little bit of the one on 3DS, but I don't like. This is weird because I love my Switch, but like I don't really care for handheld games.
The 3DS was uncomfortable.
Yes.
First of all. So
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. So I'm like, all right, cool. A new console, Luigi's Mansion. I'm excited. I can't wait to play it. I pop it in, and like I start moving around the levels, and like before you even get like the vacuum cleaner or anything, like you have a flashlight, and I start pointing the flashlight. I'm like, oh no. Like that was my first reaction, and that should not be my first reaction to a game I'm looking forward to. And I start walking around this room.
Quick question about Luigi's Mansion, just not to get us off track. How would you feel if Luigi's Mansion was a first-person Mario game? Would be better?
Yes.
Yeah, I do.
1,000%.
Like, wouldn't that be cool if it was a first-person game?
Yeah,
even like
it would be like
person
the
over
Resident Evil
shoulder.
7 version of Mario.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's
Luigi's
just a really random thought I just had, but I think I would like that game more if it was first person.
Or even like a third person over the shoulder, kind of like Resident Evil 4 was, right? Like I would almost prefer that, but like my first to turn Luigi, you have to aim and stuff. You literally have to use the shoulder buttons. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so old feeling. Like it feels like an old game, and I don't like it.
Did you try the alternative
not
controls?
Yet. Not yet.
Because I heard that those are better.
Yeah, I've heard it's better in most ways, but then like you can't really aim. You have to use the gyroscope to aim. Like you have to.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
and I did try that, and I didn't like it a whole lot.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm with you on that, Corey.
Yeah. So like,
I got used to using the gyro. I actually used it a lot for aiming in Zelda, like Breath of the Wild. I would use it for aiming a lot when you're shooting the bow and arrow.
Yeah.
So I
think
I
works
might
better in that from that perspective, because it's
that's a bow.
Yeah, it's like a third person perspective, right? It's not like a zoomed out walking through a room thing, and I think it works great in Splatoon and Doom and stuff too. Like when you're like using the gyroscope to aim, like I think it works really well in those games. But this game, it's like,
well, maybe are you playing it with the Joy-Con or the Pro Controller?
I've played it both ways.
I haven't tried it with the Pro Controller. It's still as bad with the Pro Controller?
It's the same layout. So I kind of put it down because I'm like, I want to finish Star Wars before I finish anything else. So like I've been playing. I've also been on Switch. I've been playing Box Boy and Box Girl.
Oh,
an amazing game. I love those games so much. Like if you have $15 to spare, it is one of the best puzzle games. Just it's so fun and simple and clean, and it's just such a fun game, made by the creators of Kirby, HAL Labs. So you should just check it out. It's fun. I'm not going to spend too much time. You basically just use squares to build bridges to get across gaps, and the less squares you use, the higher your score is. And there's little crowns that you collect throughout each level. It's really fun. But the game I've been sinking a lot of time into is Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order.
One of the best games we've gotten this year. Straight up.
I am really surprised at how much I like this game. Like I mean, I knew I was going to go in and like enjoy it because oh man, cool, new Star Wars game finally. But I love the characters. I know some people have a problem with the captain of the ship. What's his name? Grease. But like, I think he's funny. I like him.
He's a Star Wars character.
Yeah.
He's a Star Wars character.
I like him.
Yeah.
I like him, and you know, I like Cal, and I like BD1. He's the best sidekick ever.
I'm sorry, BD1's the best droid.
Yeah,
I don't care. BD1 is the best droid.
yeah,
Yeah,
so,
he's the practical.
He's the most useful.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
yeah. So I've been playing a lot of that. I love customizing the lightsabers. I love every time I get a new poncho color, I change it. Like I just, and depending on what depending on what planet I'm on, like not to spoil anything. Ray, did you finish it?
Yes, I'm done with the game.
Okay, I just finished the second outing on Kashyyyk, and I'm on Dathomir. That's where I'm at. How much longer do you think I have in the game?
I would say maybe an hour, maybe 2 hours.
Oh, really? I'm that close to the end?
Like, so how far are you into that? Because Dathomir actually takes a lot longer than you think.
Well,
the second time.
I went to Dathomir right after the first place you go to, just because like they're like you can go here. Here's your objective, but you can also go to Dathomir, and like not to spoil anything, but I already knew the secret on Dathomir before I went to I went there to get that secret before I moved on. So like I already unlocked all the level that I could
My question for you is, on Dathomir the second time, have you gotten to what you thought was your first objective?
Let's see. I got to where like, oh man, I don't know how to say it without spoiling anything.
So did you go? So okay. So this is a cryptic question. When you got to Dathomir the second time, did you get to the point where you had to leave Dathomir again?
No.
Okay.
I'm still in the middle of that. I fell down in this hole and I went through this maze and I killed some undead people, and then I kind of progressed through there, and then I had to stop playing because my wife got hurt.
I think you're about maybe hour. So I would say, actually, I'm going to say now, I'm like, you're 2 to 3 hours.
So like
close to the end.
A good healthy game session tonight.
Yes.
I should be able to finish the game.
You could finish the game tonight.
Okay.
Nice.
Because like I was like, man, I feel like I've been playing.
It also depends on what difficulty you're playing on.
I'm playing on whatever the normal difficulty is.
Because I played on Jedi Master, the one right above Grandmaster, whatever. My God,
the game is a lot harder than I expected it to be.
So you're playing on the right difficulty. You should be able, if you really tried to finish that game tonight, you can finish it tonight.
Yeah. So I think I'm going to try to do that. So
nice.
I'm really liking it. I like the story. There's a couple things in the game where I'm like, here's the thing. Should I go back and like, is there a part in the game where it's like, you know, once you pass this part, you can't go back anywhere else? Like
at the end of the game.
Okay. So I can
like it will literally you will get prompted for that. So don't worry, it'll tell you.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I was wondering. So because like I know there's like other colored lightsabers and stuff like.
The game. This game, like you're already loving this game. This game goes from really good to great real fast.
Yeah.
At least to me.
Yeah.
God, it gets just you're really close. You're really close to the part like my favorite part of the game. Keep playing.
Okay. Because like I wanted to go back to the other planets that I didn't like really do a lot of searching around.
Keep going forward.
Just keep going. Okay. But then I'm like, I do want to play.
Always go back to those places, but keep going.
Because I used a lot of time downloading games for 2019 because I was like I want to keep playing this, but there's also games because we're going to be talking about a lot of games of 2019 coming up real soon, and I'm like I want to finish this so I can play like DMC and Metro and After Party and Control. Like I want to play those games before our talk. So like I'm like maybe I should just power through this and so I can play some other games. But I'm really enjoying it. I kind of liked figuring out the combat loop because I know a lot of people are going to go in and just think it's going to be a button masher and you just kind of like hack. It's not. It's more. I compared it to like what I played of Bloodborne, but a lot of people are saying it's more Sekiro than Bloodborne.
Yeah, when I first started playing, I was like, oh yeah, this seems a lot like Dark Souls Bloodborne. But then as I kept playing, I was like, no, this is definitely Sekiro.
Yeah.
It's carry-based combat than anything.
Yeah, so once I like figured that out, it got a lot better for me because like I was playing it like I was playing like a Dark Souls game where I was waiting for them to attack and then I would go in and hit them a couple times and playing very defensively. But the game actually rewards you for being aggressive after the parry, which is way better. So it's, dude,
it's just fun to play. Yeah,
yeah. Like it's is it the prettiest game you've seen? No. Is it the
does it run the best?
No.
No. But it's a great game.
I put it on performance mode on Xbox. I'm like, if I took it off performance mode, I wonder how much better it looks. I'm like, oh, it looks better, but it also runs at like 18 frames a second, and I'm like,
it's something else.
Yeah.
So like, if there were some parts of it where I was like, come on, and I was like, whatever, I'm just enjoying a Star Wars game because the game is still fun to play.
Yeah,
But
the I did do a pretty cool boss fight on Kashyyyk last night, and it was super fun. Like
the last one,
yeah,
it's the best fight in the game.
Is it
to me?
Yeah,
to me that is to me.
Yeah,
like every other fight is really cool, but to me that's the most well done fight in the game. You can tell that they put the most time into that one, I think.
Yeah, it was super fun. I like some of the cameos that you see throughout the story. It's really fun learning about like another part of the Star Wars universe. Like it kind of it almost has like a Mass Effect Prothean vibe to it.
A little bit. Yeah.
So that's kind of the story of the game. Like, not to like spoil a lot, but you're kind of researching this ancient civilization of Force users before the Jedi. Like, it's really interesting and fascinating, and like where it leads you is just super cool. And apparently also some of the ads on YouTube are spoiling some things.
Yes. So thank you for bringing that up. Do not watch ads for this game. There are some unskippable ads. Like, just turn it off. Like, it literally spoils one of the biggest surprises in the entire game. Do not watch trailers for this game.
Haven't been spoiled yet, so that's another
I don't know why they decided to do this.
Because
they pulled a Disney and they were like showing. Remember, and when they were showing one of the biggest scenes from Infinity War, or Endgame, like where it was like one of the biggest scenes from the movie that was like one of the coolest parts. They were showing that in the trailer. I'm like, don't do that.
Yeah,
but they definitely show one of the biggest surprises in the game. In this trailer, so please don't watch this trailer. It is very spoilery.
Yeah, so I haven't been spoiled yet. So I'm gonna, like, after we record today, I'm gonna like kind of edit the show real quick and like stay off the internet for the rest of the day until I finish the game, because somehow I watch a lot of YouTube, especially like when I'm watching, like on Saturdays. My morning ritual is to watch podcasts I didn't listen to during the week on YouTube, and no ads for this game came up, and I'm like, and I heard that on a couple podcasts I listened to today, and I'm like, oh boy, I can't believe I didn't see those, and so
YouTube Premium, man, that's what I'm about.
So, but I love Jedi Fallen Order. I think it might be like, this is gonna be a weird comparison, but it feels a lot like what I played of Darksiders 3. I don't know if you played Darksiders 3.
I just downloaded that Game Pass, by the way. I'm going to play it soon. So,
yeah.
Okay.
It reminds me of what I played of Darksiders 3. Like, these big kind of open spaces where you go through, and like there's little secret areas, and there's only a couple enemies in an area at a time, but you got to be real methodical of how you approach it. Like, that's what it felt like to me, a more polished, like cleaner Darksiders 3. So, also, Ray, if you're going to play Darksiders 3, I would switch it to classic combat mode, because there's some like dodging issues with the base combat mode. So, you can try it out and see if you like it, but like a lot of people say that game gets a lot better if you go to classic combat mode. So. For me anyway, and I know a lot of people have commented that too, but yeah, Jedi Fallen Order is I'm like, okay, this game's probably going to be on my top 10 for the year. I did not expect it to be in the top 2 or 3 games.
We all know where this game came from, so everybody was weary about it, and I completely understand why people were weary about it. And I'm really glad that it completely surprised all of us.
Honestly, like,
but it was also Respawn though.
Yeah,
so
like
I wasn't
I was still worried because DICE is a great studio, and Battlefront should not have turned out the way that it did. But it did. So I was a little apprehensive because of Star Wars and track record with EA. So.
Yeah. And the thing is like I actually had higher hopes for this game than I think a lot of people did when it was announced, because like Stig was the combat director on God of War 3 and Ascension, and I like Ascension, and
I love Ascension. It's one of my favorite God of War games.
Yeah, like I like those games.
I know most people hate it, but I love it.
I love classic God of War. I know somehow history has kind of turned its back on classic God of War somehow.
I don't know why, but yeah, it's a great series.
But like, and just feeling that combat, and like to hear that he kind of came up with like the combat for the new God of War before he left for Respawn, like throwing the axe, and like I'm like, okay, if it has a little bit of a feel of classic God of War mixed with the new God of War, mixed with like, you know, the stuff that Respawn is kind of known for, I'm like, I'm kind of excited for this, and we got this, and I'm like really pleasantly surprised with it. Is it a perfect 10? No, not by any stretch of the imagination, but
it's a really good 8.
Yeah. It's like an 8.1.
Yeah, you know? Really. Like honestly, so this is a good game.
Yeah, so that's kind of all I've been playing. I've been really sinking a ton of time into Star Wars. I'm probably almost 25 to 30 hours in, because like
you're definitely almost done.
Every time I find an area that has green doors, I'm like, I'm headed to that green door and I'm gonna go unlock it. So it's the map system in the game too doesn't get enough credit either, and it really
so you know why? Because it's very Metroid Prime-esque and it's fantastic.
Yeah, but like it's also like, okay, yellow is a place where you haven't explored. Green means you can go there because you have the right powers, and red means you can't go there because you don't have the right powers.
Don't waste your time. Yeah,
it's amazing. So that's all. It's a great game if you're into Star Wars at all, and even if you're not, I would still recommend it for people who like.
Because you don't have to know a lot about Star Wars to enjoy this game.
Yeah. Do you know what a lightsaber is? Do you know what the Force is? There you go.
It does a really good job of telling a story. That's it.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and the acting the acting I feel like is very well done. So some of the comments.
It's just weird though, like the main character, like every time I see him, all I can think of is Joker from Gotham, because he plays Joker on Gotham.
See, I didn't watch that, and I didn't watch him in Shameless. So everybody's like, he looks like this guy. And I'm like, I don't know. He looks like this Jedi to me.
Yeah. Like, even my wife said it. She's like, is that the kid from Shameless? I'm like, yeah. She's like, oh, okay.
He does an amazing Joker. though. Yeah. Like he's probably one of my favorite Joker character, like people that plays Joker. So
I think
he does a really good job.
I don't think he gets enough credit for his Joker, just because I don't think a lot of people enjoyed Gotham.
Yeah.
I don't think. So what I think is enough people didn't stick with Gotham.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I like Gotham, but also, I'm not 1,000% invested in that universe. So
I didn't have enough time. It was like I had a bunch of stuff I was doing, a bunch of shows I was watching. I'm like, does Gotham make the cut? Unfortunately, not.
But yeah, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, fun game. I recommend it. So, which is all that matters, really.
Wow. Also gets Ray's stamp of approval, but that means nothing. So here you go.
True. All right. So since we kind of ran long, do we want to answer one or two of these questions, or do we want to do the news?
Why don't we do the question?
Yeah, I kind of vote.
I'm like, I'm not gonna lie. Looking at the news, we've got the Bungie roadmap. Great, awesome.
That
that's
trailer
cool.
was good. I did play a little bit of Destiny also.
I have. So fun fact, I've also deleted Destiny off of my Xbox. I think I'm done with Destiny for a while, if not forever. So that's just me now. Let's see, 25 years of PlayStation. Yay. I love PlayStation. PlayStation's great. I no longer have a PS4, but I have a PlayStation 1 Classic. So there you go. There's that. Then Amazon UK is sending people condoms instead of Switches. So that's weird.
Yep.
Yeah, that's strange. Of course, Ed wanted to talk about Daemon X Machina because Ed's the only person who liked that game. It's getting Witcher 3 DLC. Yay! Witcher 3 in Daemon X Machina. That's really weird. Okay, both Witcher, Ciri, and Geralt getting in giant robots fighting people. Strange.
Dude,
okay,
I'm glad Ed loves that game.
Same.
Everything I played at Daemon X Machina, I hated every single thing.
I like Ed. I love you to death, but Daemon X Machina to me is not a good video game.
No,
I'm sorry,
especially because like I played that demo right after we were playing Anthem. Which say what you will about Anthem, but the flying mechanics in Anthem,
great.
Yeah. Like the flying in Anthem feels fantastic, and flying in Daemon X Machina does not feel fantastic.
It does not. Sorry, Ed. But yeah, woohoo, Witcher 3 stuff and Daemon X Machina. Great.
Yeah. All right, so let's.
But then State of Play is coming up. That'll be State of Play and the Game Awards are coming up, but we're going to talk about those at length after they happen.
Yeah.
So
we'll talk about them next week or the week after. So all right, we're going to get into the questions then. Remember, you can email the show at bossrushgamespro@gmail.com or contact@codenamenx.com. That email address is still open for now. So you can email us there or look for our social threads on Facebook and Twitter. Deshaun Malone, our tried and true hero of Twitterverse. He asks, what is your biggest hope for Project Scarlet and PlayStation 5? What are you looking for when you upgrade? I mean, I'm just a new console that we can all be excited about and that works and that doesn't have to like be the greatest, like have to do everything at once. I just wanted to play my games from, what Xbox is doing with backwards compatibility and everything. If I can play my old games and play new games seamlessly and it works and they look pretty on a TV that I want to purchase, then, that's what I want. I honestly like PlayStation 5, it's going to come down to whenever God of War or Horizon come out for me, because those are really the only two exclusives I'm interested in anymore. For Project Scarlet, like Xbox is the platform that I'm going to be playing on mostly. So, of course, Scarlet's going to be on my radar with Halo and everything, but I really don't have much to add to that. It's just like I'm invested in Game Pass. I'm invested in the Xbox ecosystem. So Scarlet is the next Xbox. So that's kind of what I'm looking for in it, to be honest.
Console streaming, now they're going to have that. And,
what I really want out of these new consoles is I want better hardware. I want these machines to run well. Yeah. I want a machine I know I'm going to buy and I'm not going to be worried about it dying 4 years into ownership. I want it to run well. I want SSDs in these machines. I know that sounds crazy. I want SSDs to these machines. Yeah. Oh my God.
I think there is.
I think from all points they're pointing to SSDs, right?
Please give us SSDs and at least give us a trim that has a terabyte out of the gate.
Yeah.
I don't want 500 gigabyte consoles no more.
No.
Give me a terabyte.
It's got to be at least a terabyte. I would like to see a 2 terabyte model.
I would buy it.
Yeah.
I would buy it like straight out of the gate. I would buy it. Like don't give me this 500. Nope. I'm not going to buy it. I won't do it. So yeah, I want better hardware. I want SSDs and I want cleaner UIs that work on both machines. I guess like you, Corey and Jesse, I'm very built into the Microsoft ecosystem now. I'm in it. Like I got Game Pass. I got Game Pass Ultimate. I've got the Elite controller. I've got the Xbox One X. I got it. I'm ready for it. Give me the X Cloud. Give me more reasons to keep an Xbox in my house. I already have good reasons. So like Xbox, you got to Phil. I'm talking to you right now because Phil, I know you listen to the show as well.
Friend of the show,
you got to give me some games, Phil. Halo is amazing, and I know it's going to be great. I need stuff other than the Halo. Give me that.
I need that new Fable.
I need new Fable, and I need stuff I ain't never seen before that is good because I know it can happen.
I want to see what the initiative is working on. Like real bad. I want to see what the initiative is working on.
At this point, I know that PlayStation is going to do well. They're going to do great. We're going to get really good exclusives, and it's going to be awesome. They just have to make sure their console is great going this time around. The PlayStation 4 was not a very good console itself. Like it was awesome for game developers because it made it easy for them to make games, and that's why they had so many good games. Games ran well on the PlayStation, but the console itself, the hardware, not the best. Give us a really solid console, PlayStation. Pretty please. Yeah. I know you could do it. Mark Cerny's a genius. Let him do his work.
Yeah, I mean, I would like the consoles to run at a steady frame rate too. like I know not
1080 60. Just perfect that, please.
Yeah, and like I don't care if the games run at 4K. Like I really don't care. Like would it be nice? Sure, but I still have a 1080p TV, and until I get a new TV, like that's what I'm going to be playing in. If it can run at a solid frame rate, I don't want to have to like change performance things in my settings, right, to make the game run well. I just want I want a solid frame rate. I want the game to look as good as it can be at that steady frame rate. You know, I know Microsoft first party games prioritize frame rate over resolution, which, you know, you can see it a little bit in Halo, right? Like sometimes the resolution drops a little bit, but it stays at that steady frame rate. And like, I just want it to run well. You know, like we said for Jedi Fallen Order, like there's times in that game where that game dips lower than 15 frames a second on an Xbox One X. Like that's just, you know, and I know like they had to get that game out, and that's probably not the greatest example, but still it doesn't run great, you know, and I want that game to run solidly, and if Scarlet can do that for me, then yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of running. Yeah, like because at this point at the end of the generation, it's kind of running into the same issues that Switch has been having with a lot of its first party games, where a lot of people are having really bad like frame rate drops, and it's kind of a bummer for Nintendo, because Nintendo has always been known to be like so hardcore about making sure that their games are like perfect. Yeah. And I just like, honestly, I haven't been feeling like they've been really doing that lately with the Nintendo games.
It's weird though, because like I think the only game that they really were complaining about was Link's Awakening.
Yeah, that, but there was there's been quite a few games that
I mean, I know what you're saying, but I just know like Link's Awakening was like the main one people, at least, you know, the last couple of months, that was
that one
the people were pointing to. So
yeah, but with the like, I kind of almost answered this question unintentionally earlier, but like I definitely want these consoles to perform better, and you know, and all those things that we kind of, you know, expect from a new generation of console. But like I said earlier, I kind of want to see functionality. I want to see like you know, people being able to edit videos and things like that on it if they want to, you know, like I said, with Mixer and everything, and like I think it would be cool if people would be able to literally only need an Xbox if they really wanted to be able to, you know, make a good chunk of content. Yeah. Now, like it is. Are you going to be able to do everything that you would want to do to become, you know, big and successful as a streamer? No, but it would be cool if, like, while you're playing a game or you're doing something or you're recording, you know, a game or streaming, you want to kind of edit a couple of things here and there and then throw it into the cloud to be able to put the little last touches on it on your computer. I think that would be awesome, you know, if there was a little bit more functionality in those kind of things. Yeah, as far as like graphics and all that stuff go, yeah, I just want to see the, you know, definite 60 plus frames per second. I know they said that it would like possibly was it like 120 at 1080p. They talked about, so like that it would be possible to get 1080p at 120 frames per second or something like that. I don't know, I don't remember, but I remember them saying. Like, them saying
they could do some 60. Sort of higher frame rate, but also like the PlayStation 5. Somebody in an interview said that they had 8K output, which, you know.
Yeah. 4K hasn't even, like, I mean, 4K is just finally 4K. Starting to get.
It can barely do 1440p.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Man. All right. We're gonna
and well, one last thing actually, and as far as the PS5 goes, like the main thing is I just really, really, really hope that they do backwards compatibility like right and like do it well, because that ultimately is going to be the deciding point for me personally, whether I get one sooner or later. Because like for me, like I'm not really into, you know, barely any of their the first party like games. So like for me, like now that there's a good chunk of games that I would like to play that are on PS4, you know, that's why I want to get one, is I ultimately want to get one to play some of those games that I didn't play on PS4.
Games to play, yeah.
Because like for me, like really Until Dawn is like really like the only franchise of theirs that I like absolutely am in love with. But there are some games that I do want to try, you know, that have come out over the years. But so for me, the PS5 won't have any worth unless I can play those games that I wanted, or that I have played but I don't own. So you know, so I'm really just hoping that they do it right, and you know, like Microsoft, they put the work in, because you know it wasn't easy for Microsoft to do that. They put so much love and work into trying to get those games you know, backwards compatible, and then a lot of times, you know, up-resing their you know, their properties and things like that. So I just hope they do it right, and I do think it will pay off if they do it right. That people will, you know, they will get that love and respect that Microsoft has got for doing all that stuff, you know, and listening to people. So
yeah,
that's what I hope for them. So
nice. We're going to move on to the next question from Kayla Warmer. I'm going to say Warmer. If I pronounce that wrong, you can correct me. I do not care. Hello, everyone. A very important question for you. What game has your favorite character customizer? Well, I'm going to go ahead and say it. I think Mass Effect Andromeda has a great character character creator and customizer. Also, Destiny 2, best character creator ever. Just kidding. That character.
That's a good joke.
You know, I thought of it all on my own. Dude, Destiny's
for me, it's
awful.
always been the wrestling games. It's always been the WWE games, just because they've just got so much stuff that you can just make people, you know, like you can literally make anyone into a wrestler with that game, because it's so in depth.
Well, since I'm gonna claim the title of Resident Weeb. Sorry, Jesse. I'm gonna say that it is Sword Art Online Fatal Bullet. I love the customizer in that game. Oh my god, there's so many crazy things in that video game that make characters look wild and very anime. So
also, shout out to Monster Hunter World, has a very awesome character creator.
Yep, that's also a good one.
Yep, I can make my anime buff guy with his pigtails.
I always go pompadour eye patch, because I'm the best.
Nice. All right, our last question of the day comes from Greg Osterman III. He says, "Hello, Boss Rush bosses."
I like that name. Let's keep out.
All right, I like it too. Loving the new name and the new look. Fantastic. You guys are awesome. Thanks. I feel awesome.
You are awesome too. Thank you.
Yes. Yeah. I have a question for you, and I think it's a good one. What dev would you like to see tackle your favorite franchise? What would the game be like, and what would you like to see happen in the game? Cheers from snowy Boston.
It's a great question. I've been thinking about it since I read it today.
I mean, I know probably across multiple shows and years, I've probably answered this question a couple times, but I really want a Ninja Turtles game. But like, like the way they did Arkham, the Arkham series, like a not like a darker Ninja Turtles game, but just more of like a
Ninja Turtles, but Arkham sounds great.
Yeah, that's what I want. Like I want it kind of have that vibe of the very first Turtles movie, kind of like darker and have elements of comedy, because that's what Ninja Turtles is ultimately in some parts, but also there's like a lot of like darkness and sadness in the comics. If you read the Turtles comics, like there's a lot of like very weird things, and like I want to see what they would do with like, okay, do we have an open world New York? Do we have a Metroid like sewer system that you can go through? Like, do you have a way to scale buildings, or do you come out at night? Do you like have like a GTA style star system where like if you come out during the day, people recognize you, and like the more people will get scared of you, like more enemies will come attack you, or authorities or whatever. Like, how's that dynamic shift between Turtle versus like law enforcement versus like the Foot Clan and Shredder, and like, do you open up a portal to Dimension X and fight Krang and like the pizza aliens or whatever? Like, there's so many different things you could do with Turtles. And what really reinforced this thought of a Arkham style Turtles game was when NetherRealm put them in Injustice 2, and just how clean they looked in an Unreal engine.
Amazing.
Like, they just looked really good, and like that's really the only reason why I kind of got the gold version of that game, was because like the Turtles, like that Turtles trailer was awesome, and the way you could kind of customize your Turtles in that game is kind of like how I could see you customizing the look of them in that game, where, okay, I found, some shin guards or knee pads that make your like you could have like this wide range of customizable features, to make your Turtles feel unique and have them get stat buffs or, stealth elements and stuff. So, I mean, that's kind of what I would like to see, is like a really cool, darker Turtles game.
What if From Software did
No, I don't need that. I don't need that. I mean, I guess like a combat system like that could be cool, but like,
yeah, that's what I mean.
I don't want it to be hard. I would just want it to be like,
like they wouldn't necessarily have to do it like that, but like,
I don't know. Ray likes that idea.
No, you gave me a better idea than the one that I had. So,
well, and there's a reason for that, because I've kind of got them in my mind right now too, with what I'm thinking. Some of the stuff I'm thinking.
The only thing I haven't really like thought of is like how, like, would it be like a GTA style system where like you could switch between Turtles on the fly, or like could you play as other characters? Like, would there be like a Mary Jane style April section where like you go through and try to infiltrate as like a reporter, not that bad.
No.
Like, I mean, like from like, in Spider-Man, the way he played as MJ, right? Like, I don't know. Would you try to do something like that? Or would you have like a really cool Casey Jones section where you're just like mashing guys with hockey sticks? Like,
why would I want to play as Casey Jones or April when I could just be the Ninja Turtle?
I don't know. That's a gameplay decision. You're gonna have to make the gameplay interesting.
You can do that. You have 4 different personalities and gameplay styles potentially to do.
What? Haven't you always wanted to play as Master Splinter?
Not really.
Come on, in Secret of the Ooze, when he uses the bow and arrow, you don't want to shoot stuff down with a bow and arrow?
I'd rather play as the Shredder. do a weird flip flop where you're playing from the evil perspective, but then you have to go back and also do the turtle, so stuff that the turtles don't, and vice versa with the Shredder. Story stuff. It'd be fun.
Like what was the Transformers game, War for Cybertron or whatever?
A little bit, kind of, sort of, yeah.
Yeah, that's a cool idea too.
I don't know. I'm not a game designer yet, so I don't really know.
I like the fact that there's so many different, like the way that Batman pulled from like C and D tier villains and pulled them out, and we're like, let's do something with the
and made them amazing.
Like Calendar Man and Mad Hatter and, you know, like all these weird Batman villains. Like, you could do that with, like, you know, I don't know, Rat King or you know what I mean? Like, you could do so many things with
Baxter.
Yeah, I mean, well, I think everybody knows who Baxter Stockman is, but
yeah,
no,
well, yeah,
I know what you mean, but
there's a lot. Just they have a lot of cool looking characters.
Yeah, or like you could do something cool with Karai, or you know what I mean. Like, there's so many different cool things you could do. Just don't do what the Next Mutation did, and just like add I mean, like, look, I'm all for inclusivity and everything, but the Next Mutation, when they added, you know, Venus, and it was just like a weird thing.
Yeah.
They did add a girl turtle in the comics, though, and she's actually kind of cool, though, to be fair.
Yeah.
So
that's the thing. I think it's fine if it's done right, but Next Mutation, it just was really.
I mean, that show was bad.
I didn't. And what annoyed me is it's like a lighter shade of blue is her color. It's like, come on, there's already a blue.
Yeah,
like why can't you give her like purple or
you know?
I think purple. Yeah, purple or yellow.
Well, Donatello's purple already.
I mean, yeah, yellow. Yeah.
Or, you know, like, the color everybody thinks of when they, like, not to sound like sexist or anything, but pink, you know, especially in the 90s or 2000s. When
gender reveal parties. Hey.
Yeah, I know. I just feel like somebody's going to come at me if I don't say that. So, but anyways.
I mean, I think that here it's implied. So,
yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
So, Jesse, what's yours?
Okay, so I've been kind of juggling this all like in my mind, and I actually have I'm not gonna spend a lot of time on it, but I have like a 3 swap where like 3 different developers all swap and do like take, you know, like each take each other's thing. So I would like to see Resident Evil do redo a Dead Space in the new RE engine.
I would absolutely play the Dead Space game. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. I would play a new Dead Space game in general, even though I don't do scary games. Because it was that good.
Same.
And then I know this would be different for them, but I would like to see From Software do a Bizarro Resident Evil game. And then I would like to see the people who created Dead Space do like their version of like Bloodborne or like a Dark Souls type kind of game. Like, now 2 of those would be kind of out of their element. Yeah, honestly. But like it just like, because I would like to see From Software do something outside of like just you know, more melee, you know, base kind of thing. Like do something a little bit different than, like, not that I don't, you know, I love Sekiro and stuff, but like I just would like to see them try something a little bit like different, but yeah, well, like
I've got something different for you. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, is that it?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Like I, you know, like I just ultimately, what I'm saying is I want Dead Space back.
That's fair.
There are lots of people who would echo that same thing with you. Yeah. Lots of people. So I will go with my first one first that I thought up. Is I want Monolith Soft to do Golden Sun. I want them to take the Golden Sun property and make us a new game in the style of Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Please, yes, that would be fantastic.
I would 100% agree with you.
Give me turn-based combat instead, and that game is perfect. Like, give me the world and exploration of Golden Sun, but give me turn-based combat, and that game is mwah. I think that could be a fantastic game. You can have that one for free, Nintendo, as long as you send me a copy. It's fine. Please make that game. And then the second weird kind of wacky one, and it's the last one I got. Jesse got me thinking when he said From Software, and I was like, what if we gave From Software the Power Rangers license?
Yeah.
And they made a Power Rangers game. that could be potentially insane.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all martial artists. Like the fighting styles are really like unique and cool. And I feel like they could do something pretty badass with transformations and out of transformation type stuff. It could be pretty cool, I think.
Especially if they did like a storyline off Earth and they could just design their own weird where's Rita from? Like you go to her planet and like design like this weird, crazy Dark Souls or Bloodborne type world there, and like or Lord Zed or whatever. Like there's so many. Like it's the same as
they've
like
already explored some really weird, creepy planets like this in the actual like series.
That's what I'm saying. Is like also they have such a wide range of characters to pull from, just like Ninja Turtles, like villains and stuff. Where like
so many.
Yeah.
No, I think that could, From Software Power Rangers game could be actually kind of lit.
Plus, From Software, you could make like an Armored Core style like segment with the swords.
So I'm so glad you picked up on that, because that's like the second half of it. Like they would do the actual like Megazord battles.
Yeah,
it would be insane.
Yeah,
I know.
It was so good.
Yeah, that would be sweet.
This is why I like when Jesse said that. That's why my eyes kind of glazed over when you were talking, because I was like, it could be incredible.
Yeah,
that would be awesome.
Oh man,
that would be awesome as hell.
I feel like my Turtles idea now just is kind of like a mediocre idea now compared to the Power Rangers one, because now I want is a Power Rangers game with Armored Core and sword fights.
I would love a Ninja Turtles Batman game, like straight up. Like, please. There's so much I would love. Especially if we could steal pizzas. That'd be amazing.
Yeah. Oh man, pizza. Dude, no.
Yes!
Wow.
I love it.
Man, I just hope there's no Death Stranding style delivery systems in Ninja Turtles where you have to deliver pizza.
Now I want that. Thanks for saying that.
Where you have to put on like Donatello puts on like a trench coat and a hat and like the glasses from like the cartoons, or like it has like the nose and the mustache and stuff, and you deliver.
Yeah, that's the scene. Oh god, that'd be good.
Okay, I changed my mind. I want that now.
This pizzas, please.
Oh man. All right. Well, that's gonna wrap up our questions and our show, I think. So I want to thank everybody so much for listening. Remember, you can catch the Boss Rush podcast every Tuesday. We're going to start releasing on Tuesdays. You can find it every Tuesday at 7 a.m. on your podcast service of choice, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, and iHeartRadio, and all the other ones that you prefer. You can also check out all of our content on bossrushgames.com and email the show at bossrushgamespro@gmail.com. Follow us on Twitter at boss_rush_games, and on Facebook and Instagram at bossrushgames. Ray, where can we find you?
You can find me everywhere on the internet as Ray Apollo, RayAPOLLO, no space. It is Game of the Year season, so I'm doing a lot of content with Game of the Year stuff and my favorite tech of the year, and I'll be discussing that both on Twitch and YouTube. So the live stuff for Twitch and my recorded and extended thoughts on YouTube. So look forward to that. Also Ray Apollo on YouTube. So that's it. That's all I got.
Not a chicken.
I've been enjoying your unboxing episodes.
Oh, good. I'm glad you like those. They're fun to do. I actually have another one that's coming up soon. So yeah.
Nice.
Jesse,
yeah, I watched your Switch Lite one and
nice.
And a couple of your Lite one and stuff like that. So,
Jesse, where can we find you?
You can find me almost everywhere as Phantom NXS.
You can follow me at CoreyNHG713 on Twitter and CoreyNHG on Instagram, Mixer, and Twitch. If you want to follow me there, I haven't been streaming since, but I'm going to start again. You can soon. Yeah, I've got it set up. I just got to unplug my Xbox from the living room and bring it in here, to be 100% honest. It's literally all I have to do. You can also find me on Nintendo Power Block, our Nintendo podcast. Some quick notes before we get out of here. Prep has begun on Standard Definition, our retro nostalgia-based podcast. You can also look out for the Disney show that I am prepping that Ed made me do. So I'm just kidding. He didn't make me do it. I just kind of went through it. Also, pre-production has started on Pod and Play, our Let's Play series, and you can also check out the retro game show that Ed and I have been recording during the week. We are currently playing through A Link to the Past, which I have never beaten, so we are doing that. But anyways, you can find all that on youtube.com/bossrushgames or bossrushgames.com. I want to thank everybody so much for watching or listening. Remember to review, rate, subscribe, all that weird stuff. Bang that bell. I don't know. What did they say on the internet?
Do not bang the bell. Just click it, please. Thank you very much.
Slam that bell. Slam it.
Consent though first.
Thank you. Leave the bell alone.
Oh boy. On that note, thank you so much for watching, and until next week, we love you. Goodbye.
Bye.